Welcome back for yet another edition of Hockey Time Down South podcast. This is the only podcast dedicated to all things hockey here in the Gulf South, including professional and amateur hockey covering the FPHL, NA3HL, and New Orleans hockey. Today's episode is brought to you by Marty and Mark's Jewelry and Watch Repair in West Monroe, Louisiana, Biscuit Balm CBD Topical, the athlete's choice for muscle and joint pain relief, High Stick Hockey Company, Top Cheese Hockey, unleash your swagger, Hockey Night Insider Podcast and live streaming game coverage, the best in the business, and Big Pete's Chicago-style hot dogs, the only authentic Chicago-style hot dog in New Orleans, a true taste of Chicago. And for the last time this season, I guess I could say this is your home for team coverage of the Biloxi Breakers, Baton Rouge Zydeco, and the Monroe Moccasins of the FPHL. In our show today, we're going to have thoughts and facts and opinions on all things happening in the FPHL South. We're also going to talk about our favorite NHL teams, stories we may have, and hey, we might even have a surprise along the way. There's one on the bottom corner of the screen. Right or wrong, we're going to give you, our listeners, honest answers about things in the FPHL South and perhaps hockey in general. And on this podcast, it's all about us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Hockey Time Down South. Boys, how are we doing tonight? Everybody's going to be silent on purpose.
Batting order going.
Yeah. We're going to start. We're going to start with that.
That's how we like to start things.
You know
that was.
Yeah. You know what?
You say that was planned though.
We never.
No, I could tell. I saw Deb's mouth moving during the intro that we didn't play. I felt like we had a different producer in there or something like that. I don't know what the hell was going on, but it is what it is. But hey, first and foremost, we are missing a member right now. He may or may not come through. Brian Flores. With the Zydeco, he's incognito or he's MIA right now, but that's okay. But we also have former broadcaster and director of media for the Biloxi Breakers, the pride of the University of Massachusetts Amherst, Boston Bruins fanatic. Yeah, another person I've shared the microphone with, a big Tom Brady fan. Yeah, and Giselle too, and that's Devin Doback, guys.
Thanks for having me back, Pete. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, love him. Tough time to be a Boston fan, but we'll be back.
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees getting in the Hall of Fame. Next, we've got a new member to the show tonight. He is the creator of Moccasins Nation, sideline reporter / man between the benches, the third voice of the Monroe Moccasins, if you will, and my post-game show partner, the Taylor Costa.
Thank you guys for having me. Very excited to be here. First time, long-time listener, so looking forward to it.
It's already way better than Brian.
Oh, wow.
He's already throwing shade because Brian's not here.
Yeah. Wow. That's quick. That's not. We're not even talking about the
clear. I love
Kings.
Brian, but we got to give him a hard time because he's no call, no
We didn't
show.
even talk about the Kings getting bounced out of the playoffs and Penguins too. But anyway,
we're not going to talk about that.
We'll get there later. As always, we have the former Arizona Sun Devil master's graduate of the prestigious Walter Cronkite School of Broadcasting's current director of broadcasting and the voice of the Bayou State Rougarou of the NA3HL, the Monroe Moccasins, my broadcast partner, Joseph Furtado, with his Slurpee.
Yep, they did. The people know me for chicken tenders and Slurpees in the summertime. So, and guess what it almost is? It's almost the summertime. So, do you know what flavor this is, though?
Lemon lime?
Passion fruit?
Mountain Dew.
Yeah, Devin was the closest lemon lime. Yeah, it's Coca-Cola, but you don't go with that. Well, we have a segue for that one, Pete.
I'm sure we will. Anyway, lastly, myself, Southside Chicago native, former goaltender. I also host the Inside the Blue Paint podcast. I'm the color analyst for the Bayou State Rougarou and the Monroe Moccasins, the other voice, if you will, Pete Fricano. Gentlemen, good evening and long time no see on some of you.
Yeah, it's good to be back on the pod. Oh, wow, we can see the fan chat. That's pretty cool.
I just realized that
you
right
like
now.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
Wow,
My display only shows Pete's chin. That's
those are the two of the best parts of us, my chin and Dev's hair. Dev's got great hair.
Yeah, I just got a cut, too.
Did you?
Did, a couple days ago.
Don't forget, guys, that curls get the girls. So y'all know that. So.
Oh, I know why he can only see that, because he is on the phone version. Because I'm looking over at the phone part of the app, and I see Joseph's arm, Taylor's curls, Devin's hair, and my chin.
Yeah, there is another. If you back out of that and go back to live on the page on Hockey Time Down South, there's two versions that are live. There's the phone one, it's got an emoji on it. Then there's the other one too. You can see the full picture. So if you guys jump out and go to the next one, you can see our full faces here. Yeah.
There's two quick little settings. So just quick on that. And boys, before we get started, cheers. I'm drinking a true Chicago beverage, and because quite frankly, this is our podcast. We can do what we want. So, first and foremost, the end of the season, at least for everybody in this room right now. Actually, some a little more than others, and some we really don't know. I mean, but Dev, we'll start with you, I guess. I mean, you the year before last, you were with Danville, and then we kind of talked about it before. You went over to Biloxi, and Biloxi looked really good on paper coming into the season, and we even made the comment it was not your previous season's Mississippi Seawolves.
Yeah, we were really excited. I got there in September, so the summer had come and gone. I think that we did everything we could to hit the ground running, and we had a roster that was competitive, I think, at the beginning. I mean, we were 3-4 at one point. Caden Henry had a stretch for us. He won Rookie of the Month in October, November. So, I mean, things were definitely looking rather positive in the beginning part of the season. I was definitely feeling on board.
Yeah, Joseph, we talked about what it would look like there, too. We're like, man, these guys got some firepower.
Oh, no, for sure. I was actually just watching our first game against them, and the opening night we played the Breakers, and we did talk about that. The good team you guys had on paper, right, but just never really could kind of come together. And what'd you guys finish, Devin? 5th, 6th place?
We finished in 7th in the Continental.
Okay,
you should know that. You got to be doing your homework, Joe.
No. When the season ends, dude, I dump all the information out, all right? Season's over right now, okay?
Yeah, we finished, I would say, 8-46-2, I think. 8-46-2.
Sorry, that's fine.
Is somebody saying something?
No. Hold on there. I had a really weird echo. It's like trying to go back to game day, getting live feed, and then doing it remotely. I fixed it. We're all back to normal.
But Devin, though, for you guys had a lot of moving pieces throughout the year. Like you said, you started with a couple good players on your team, and then you guys started moving around a lot, and Biloxi started to go down pretty quick because we played you guys a couple times, and boy, those games were close. A couple one-goal games and some high-scoring ones too that were really good, especially that one in Mississippi. I believe it was the first one where Leah Rockos had a hat trick. It was like 7-6 or something like that.
Yeah.
A really good game. And Caden Henry, too, playing on that team as well. And then so many guys being moved, traded different teams, guys moving up to different divisions. Tough break.
Yeah, it definitely would have been cool to kind of build a super team from the 54 skaters we had throughout the year. Because, I mean, you can really make some talented lines out of the guys we had come and go. Of course, Caden Henry I mentioned, but Pikarczyk, who went on to be our second captain. Yarrow was there at one point. We had Declan Conway before he got hurt. Hugo Koch was fantastic for us. Jewett and Blacksmith. AJ Schlepp was a great piece, and I think Schleppy, I mean, he's the nicest guy away from the sheet. Like, I think that is so underappreciated, and he has such a role being the sheriff on the team, and he definitely plays the villain, but I want to be clear, like, he is one of the best people you'll ever meet. He's been doing a lot of musical stuff lately. He's been doing a little singing and guitar playing on his social media, so definitely some cool side to see of Schlepper.
Yeah, until you mentioned Declan Conway, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the first goal he actually scored against us this season. I think he was the first one he scored. I think it was shorthanded too, if I'm not mistaken, either on a wraparound against Sean Kuhn.
Yeah, it was.
Something like that.
I don't know if it was shorthanded, but it was definitely, he scored our first goal in franchise history, and I do believe it was a wraparound goal. Yeah, Decky was great. He was a great veteran presence, and he could score. I mean, we didn't get to see him come to his full potential, but he played 18 games and had 23 points, and when all's said and done, he ranks 5th on the team in total points throughout the entire season just from that stretch of games. So, I mean, he was a great piece to have while he was here. But, yeah, he just had an injury, and not to speak for him, but it was something that he could roll the dice with, but it didn't make sense for him based on where the team was at that point in the year, and he made the smart decision to shut it down for the season.
Yeah, some good guys, too, on your team as well. You know, we talked to Curtis Hanson a lot, too. Declan Conway, another one of them. So some of these guys you get to meet, you know, the players, some really cool guys.
Yeah, Curdy's getting married in a month, so I'm really excited for him. His wonderful fiance was doing some video stuff with us for social media early on in the year, and she's awesome. So I'm very excited for the two of them. I got to say goodbye to them before I came back up to Massachusetts, and yeah, they got a really, really bright future ahead, Curtis and Haley. So I'm excited. Kurt deserves it.
Pete, we've been down to Biloxi as well a couple times. Saw Devin down there a few times too. Well, obviously doing the games, but getting to hang out with you, Devin, see what your setup looks like down there as well and everything. And always fun to go and travel and check out some of the other stadiums and what have you. And like I said, you know, Biloxi not being a team anymore now, it's a bummer. But you know, some good times going down this season, especially playing you guys.
Yeah, it was a blast, and to be clear, I haven't heard any official word. Yeah, there we go. I'm not sure that face I'm making right there. But yeah, we did get to call a game together at the Coliseum. That was a blast, and yeah, but to be clear, yeah, haven't heard anything on Biloxi. I know that they're doing whatever they can to try and continue hockey down there, but yeah, there's been no word. No certain word from anyone that matters at this point.
Yeah, and it's a shame, too, because right now, as we look and we get the word, too, about Baton Rouge, at the moment, at least, but I guess there's some talks going on there, too, that just actually hurts the entire Gulf South. As far as any hockey, I mean, it kills travel. For one, travel's going to be very expensive. We'll hit on some of that a little later, but you know, it's going to make it tough. I mean, the next closest, man, I don't know who's closer, Topeka or Columbus to Monroe. I mean, I'm not quite sure. I'd have to look at a map and do the mapping on it. But either way, that's a distance. You know, you're not just shooting 2 hours down one way or 3 hours out to the east to hit the other location. So that hurts, but it also hurts the fan base too. And you know, your personnel gets a little shorter too, and you get a little more free agency here and there and everywhere. And you know, Taylor got to, you know, be between the benches for some of that stuff as well. And he was involved in quite a bit of stuff for us and did a hell of a job, buddy.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. A lot of good fights I remember between Biloxi and Monroe. So got to see that.
Almost getting hit with the puck a few times too.
Absolutely. And thankfully I'm an excellent dancer. So I'm able to kind of, you know, just fillet my way out of there. But, you know, hey, Sticks and stones may break my bones, but a hockey puck will hurt like hell.
Yeah, you're telling me. I mean, it had enough times. I definitely see it, but man, it's so. I mean, without Brian, obviously we know we kind of touched on too. Brian, Baton Rouge went 15-33, 6-2 with 54 points, finishing in 6th place. They just they were kind of fighting there toward the end for that 5th slot, which I mean they did for a second, kind of hit a little charge, but I mean they couldn't muster more than they can get a two game streak to go, and it just was one of those things. It's wish we had Brian here to elaborate a little bit more on that because he had a little more insight. But for the time being, I can go ahead and do this because I can. Hold on, let's see what I got here. We'll just throw some Brian Flores on there. So. Yeah, so that was when Joseph was gone, and Brian and I, I got to do some collaborations with you guys this year, a couple games with you and a couple games with Brian. That was pretty fun. Actually, 3 with Brian and 2 with you. And it was a little different, a little unexpected, but, the show must go on, and you roll with the punches and you make it work.
Absolutely. It was a blast doing the joint coverage, and, definitely a unique experience because I don't get to do much with color commentators. So, it was cool.
Yeah, gave you a little chance to rest your lungs a second.
Yeah, no kidding.
Joseph and Taylor.
I got to lend my color commentator to you guys, so I'm glad that you guys could make use of him.
He loaned me out.
Yep, I loaned him out, and you guys still owe me money for that because, Pete did my job for me. He's like I said, he's great though, Pete. It's always fun working with you guys. Are always laughing with us in our group chat, and good to see you. I listened to a couple of you guys broadcast and that was going on, and like I said, Devin not having a color commentator, and being able to work with one, Pete and listen to you guys go back and forth, and Pete makes it easy, does he not? Though I mean, because you can just say something and he'll just start spewing things out. So.
Yeah, it was a blast. I definitely enjoyed it. It was good to, have someone there to react to what I was saying in real time because, I make a lot of dumb jokes, I feel like at times. And well, not to say that Pete doesn't, but it was cool to be able to have some immediate reaction as opposed to, just me laughing at myself and feeling a little insane.
But I was looking back because I just made one of our reactions to us in the broadcast booth to some of our playoff goals. And, he's always picking stuff up that happens, behind the play or other things that are going on. And that's right, his job and what he's doing. And, it's funny because he'll catch on to things like, the number quickly and he'll let you know who scored or something sometimes because maybe sometimes you missed the number. And I was laughing. I had caught it on the Jared Christie goal, but he was like number 5. And I was like, I knew it, but that's what he does.
Speaking of missing things, are we going to talk about the high five gate on the social media that I saw?
The high five gate?
Pete
high five gate?
held for 5 for probably 4 seconds, and Joe did not give it to him. No,
he was saying number 5. That's what I'm talking about. Color
it was Christy, number 5.
He wanted a high five. He was like this, pointed at you.
Yeah, no Tom Brady
funny.
Here, Devin. You're the only one who picked that out because you're a big Tom Brady guy.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
okay.
Maybe people got confused about that. And what's kind of funny though, Pete, because I was looking back on that video and I was like, we don't celebrate a whole lot or anything like that. Obviously, it's playoffs, but our reactions were maybe a little more revved up to be in the playoffs because usually, goal happens. I'm riding something down, you're riding something down, and it's kind of move on. But that's kind of, playoffs obviously showing a little more emotion in what goes on.
Yeah, it was a little more ramped up, I think, because with game, obviously our backs were kind of up against the wall per se in game number 2 because we needed to win that one in order to force game 3, right? So that was once we started getting the momentum and kind of building on the lead, it was just much easier to be like, we don't, you're still celebrating, but you're not, really jacked up. Game 3 was a different story. That one was just tense from the start, and I'm still going to go on record and say I think the officiating ruined that game. And I never, ever, ever talk or complain about the officials. I'm going to have to there because it did, and it was just awful all the way around. And even non-player personnel were involved in something that could have been very serious in a safety concern, and that's unacceptable for the game, and it's unacceptable for the officials to ignore as well. So I think there should have been a couple. Game two, there could have been an ejection from one of the players from Columbus. I won't name their name because they know who they are. They should feel shame. Nonetheless, at the end of the day, the players still have to play right, and we've got our job to do. But the celebrations meant a little bit more because we were trying to extend our season too. We weren't ready to be done, but it just kind of happened that way, and then we got Taylor involved a little bit more too throughout the playoffs, and then the last series, and that was fun. That was fun getting you up there, buddy.
It was to counter off of what you're talking about that game. I think what speaks volumes is down there in between the benches, and I mentioned this during the game, was both teams were actually combining their opinion and were on the same page about the officiating. I thought that was something that I had not seen all year. Typically, maybe one team was benefiting or something like that, and having one team really, this and that. But Monroe and Columbus both were in agreement that it was pretty wild down there, and so that was very interesting to see, down there between the benches and see how everything unfold. But it was a wild game. But to go back to what you were talking about earlier, Pete, I think one of my favorite moments of doing the broadcast, it was that stretch to where I believe Joseph was out of town. And, Pete, you were calling like 3 or 4 games. And by the end of that series, by the end of that weekend, your voice was completely gone. Like, I don't remember what that was. I don't know if you remember that.
That's every weekend, my friend.
Man, I just remember
that was 6 games. 6 games that weekend because we had a Rougarou Friday, Saturday, and Sunday,
yes,
and then we had ours Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I was done. I was down to nothing. I was sucking on honey drops and drinking throat coat tea to try to even get close and spray. And I'm like, singer spray. I'm like, man, this is
always stopping at Tim's for that stuff. I never forget all the time. You're always talking. Your voice sounds so raspy all the time. You're like, I lost my voice. And
funny you mention that because I'm gonna do this right now because I don't have one done. But hey, boom. Fiesta on 18th. Tim's been really good to us all season long. Last 2 years, not all season, for last 2 years. We go in there on on the absolute regular. We're almost addicted to the place. Great coffee. Gotta love the stupid food. The superfood is probably the best smoothie I've ever had in my life, and it makes me feel good. He's also been able to supply us, me in general, with some really good supplements for my diabetes, for blood, what's called Blood Harmony. It's outstanding. It really helps. So I'm appreciative of that, and some sleep aid as well. But everything there is so good, so well priced. Him and Robin are fantastic. The staff is great too. But we also appreciate too, invading the territory as well as doing our Saturday prep for the evening games as well before we go to church there at the St. Matthew. So so Tim at Fiesta on 18th. If you're up in Monroe, West Monroe, in Monroe, anywhere in that general vicinity, Ruston, go to Fiesta on 18th and go see Tim hit and get whatever you need because he's got it for you. You want to be healthy? That's the place where health meets hometown pride. Fiesta on 18th. And that was off the top of my head. I didn't even have to, look at anything. Good segue, boys. Good segue. But yeah, so not in our season. We prolong our season a little longer than the Baton Rouge and Biloxi, but it's always fun too when their games are on and our games get over, and maybe their games on are a little longer. I'll pop onto their YouTube channel and I'll maybe chime in a little bit and see what's going on and talk a little bit with those guys too, because we all support each other. There's a lot of the broadcasters in the league too that really like what we're doing, and we like to include them too, and we're going to do that. I'm going to get in touch with some of the boys, and we're going to do a really special one on something else I'll talk about a little later as well. So
you need to like every broadcaster, all of them, every single one of them at one time.
All of them. Do we have to?
If we can get Mateen in here, that would be absolutely awesome.
Well, he's on my list, so that's going to happen because
we need him and Brett. I'm asking for them, Brett Wiseman and Mateen.
Because all I want to hear is Lukaria! I want to hear Mateen scream at us for no reason at all. And Mateen, if you're watching, we love you, buddy, and it's going to be a really good. It's going to be a great podcast. I'll tell you that much. We're going to get that all over the place. But,
everyone will have everybody do their goal call at once, and we'll see how it sounds.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we'll
Maybe
do
we
that.
can impersonate each other too while we're at it.
Good luck. Good luck for me. Anyway, boys, biggest takeaways from the year. What, Taylor? Since you're the newcomer, what's your biggest takeaway from the year? What did you see? What did you learn? As you know, we had a really interesting ride from day one all the way to whatever the last game of the playoffs. I can't count at this point. 56, 59, I guess. What say you, buddy?
This is my second year of doing the reporting for the Moccasins. Learned a lot in the first year, learned a lot in the second year. I guess the one takeaway is how fast things can change in this league. And that goes all the way from teams, coaches, owners, general managers, organizations. When you look back at last year, the Moccasins finished one of the lower teams in the league, in the division. Didn't make the playoffs, but, not to harp on any downfall of anyone, but, Baton Rouge made the playoffs. But then this year, just 1 year difference, Moccasins, one of the best teams in the division. Zydeco struggles, and, now they are close, and so I think that's my biggest takeaway is just how in the FPHL, how quick things can change. And that is a week-to-week thing. Like I said, whether it's players, coaches, owners, teams, organizations, it changes really fast. And so I think that's my biggest takeaway this year. And, in the first year, Moccasins, had a solid season, I think, their inaugural season. Fans loved it. And then year two, they came out and really performed. And things can change real quick.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's and it can, and it does, and it will. Wow, yeah. Boy, yeah, I don't think I could have said it better. I'll have to really beef up on my ammunition on that one. Devin, what do you got, bud?
Are we saying more personally or
all of it
by and large? Yeah, I mean, for me personally, it was another year where it was a bit of a grind at times, and I don't know. I feel like it was another huge growth year for me. I learned a lot of new things. I was tasked with doing several different things for the organization, so I feel like I diversified a little bit. Definitely feel comfortable behind the microphone. Always a lot of room for improvement, but still feeling like that there's potential to do something one day. And I'd say from the organization, I mean, I think we were just it was tough. I mean, I don't think it really helped us playing you guys 12 times before 2026. It was I mean, you guys were a very, very talented team, and there was a togetherness, a lot of veterans. We were also a very young team. I think that is often overlooked. Not to make an excuse about it, but it was a team that was really a lot of them making their first or second professional season. We didn't have any veterans, really. You had a few. Carter Thornton was nice to have. We had Stoya down the stretch. We had Yevdokimov earlier on in the year, and he was great for us. Conway. But a lot of those pieces that were veterans that were leaned on, just unfortunately, for one reason or another, they had to part ways, and I think it made things difficult for us. And yeah, it was a tough regular season, but for all the negatives that there were some positives, and it was great getting those wins down the stretch, especially on Seawolves night and the fans into it. And the overtime winner against Topeka was a lot of fun on our first responders night, if I'm not mistaken. So there were some really positive moments down the stretch, especially in our home arena, that made the tough times a little bit easier.
Yeah, like you said, you guys had the, look good on paper, and then everything just kind of slowly changed. It was like, oh boy, you were very feared. But you're right, though. If you'd have, you said earlier, if you'd have put together kind of a super group of a team, you guys would have had one hell of a team.
Yeah, I mean, I
goaltending
can't.
too.
Yeah, I can't stop thinking about the hypotheticals. There was a lot of talented players that came and went through Biloxi, and I think an area that we struggled with from day one until the end of the season was our defense. They just had a tough go. We were giving up a lot of shots every game, which isn't completely on the defense, but we didn't have a lot of offense from our defensemen. The only defenseman with a goal for a majority of the season was Declan Flanagan, and he only had 2 the entire year. And then we had Stoya, but he was playing a forward role. And then Pamelian was exceptional. He was almost a point-a-game guy with us in Biloxi, so he was awesome. He was a veteran to have down the stretch. He's a guy I wish we had from day one. I really like ZP, and very excited to see what he does going forward. But yeah, it was a very young team, and the veteran presence, had it stuck, I think would have helped us. But yeah.
Yeah, it was tough for you guys, and I believe me, we feel for you because we've seen it. I mean, we were with Baton Rouge year one, and that was a rough go. It seemed like we were playing Columbus every day, or it like the first. We felt like we played 13 games out of the first 13, and just got beat around like I don't know what. Finally won one game, like game 22 or something. I don't even remember. That feels like eons ago. But Joe, what'd you get for this year?
Oh man, this year kind of. Well, like a little bit of a roller coaster, right? So many things thrown at us, at one time to do so many things. And, the Ruger coming in, Pete, and the Moccasins, it's fun to be a part of a team who is winning, obviously. It makes your job a lot more fun. But, just from the standpoint of doing everything and running the broadcast, like I think, us taking a bigger step towards making our broadcast feel more and more like a TV production, right? We're on Gulf Coast Sports Entertainment Network. Obviously KNOE as well, and we got added to the radio finally for the first time this year, so we're having a lot more listeners, joining in. So just trying to do everything I can to set up that broadcast right and make sure everything is working. I mean, we got so many different angles, right? The net cams and the cameras of the PTZs behind the net. We're always trying to find different ideas to build stuff and make our production, look better and better, because it just makes the league look better, right? When everyone has a really good production and people are, buying into your broadcast with sponsors and everything, it helps grow the league, and everything else. The team looks better. And, like I said, it's like going to a Saints game, right? I watched them on TV all my life, and then you watch the broadcast, and you're like, all right, well, I finally want to go to a game now. And then you get to go to a game. It brings fans and puts butts in seats when you have a good broadcast, good production, and it shows the in-game entertainment, what everything is like. So obviously just we've been so broadcast heavy trying to do that, and obviously adding some more sponsors and helping out the Rougarou, and like I said, things working so fast and doing so many different things and trying to get our hand in everything and just do so much. And obviously too, one thing we really did well this year, I think, was giving back to the community and trying to help grow the community with all the mini hockey stuff we did, and also too with throwing lollipops out throughout all 28 games at home, and help grow in the community and meeting new people. It was so much fun, and I deal with a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but it was fun though in that aspect. And I think we took a huge step forward, especially in the career, right? You're learning from all these other guys, different broadcasters. We're all in talks with each other of maybe who can do this, or how can I do this better, or how can I add this to my broadcast, or that's cool. I mean, I was talking to Will Wiggleman and stuff about what he's doing on his broadcast. Now we're stealing stuff from our broadcast, and we were trying to meet together on how we could kind of go back and forth. And obviously us with Devin and working with Liam and Brian and so on and so forth, adding Taylor to the mix too, and what he's doing between the benches. So a lot's going on with just such a small team, right? And I think we added we had about 20 interns. I think we had over the off season. We brought on, and like I said, some
Yep.
people come and go throughout the season, but like I said, that's just kind of what we do. I've been doing this since Baton Rouge, and just trying to make the broadcast better and better and better, for the fans, and it helps the team. And it was a lot of fun this year. It was a lot more work and effort, though, I think, compared to the other years. But it's a lot of fun, though. Especially despite everything happens behind the scenes, and everything. We all plugged away, and I think it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a grind, and I think
that's a short way to put it. It was a grind.
It was a grind, but it was a lot. It was a lot of fun, and we all worked together. And one thing all three of us shared this year is we all called our 100th game, all in the same season.
Yeah. I also think too, what's great is
I think Brian did too.
Yeah, Devin did as well.
Yeah, Brian. I know Devin did.
Yeah,
I remember seeing his, but you might have been first.
No, I don't think
me.
Brian. I don't think Brian hit his yet. I think he was just short. I think
he
said
probably
he was
was
just
because
short.
he came in mid-year last year.
Yeah, I think he was just short.
Oh, that's right.
But,
that is right. You're right. Andy was in for a little while, and okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he was just short. But what I was going to say, though, is what's really cool is to take a bunch of interns, right, and people coming who've never done broadcast before, and then you kind of all get them to buy in on the same goal, right? We want to make this broadcast as best as we can. Then you see everyone pulling their own weight and learning things. Like Taylor was a camera operator before for the longest time, right? Asking him about his journalism background, and then, me and him going back and forth, and him asking a bunch of questions on what he can do, coach him up a little bit, right? And then he goes, spreads his own wings, and becomes what he is now, right? And just getting better with time. And, he's good now, right? But, just seeing all that stuff and everyone starting to progress, whether it's from, Jeremy with doing the camera and all the behind-the-scenes stuff, and to see everyone kind of push and strive towards one goal and just trying to be the best broadcast we can, it's really cool to see, and, it's a lot of fun. Some drama with us behind the scenes is always, not wanting to, choke each other sometimes, but that's okay.
Yeah, choke some more than others, but at the same time, I'll touch
maybe
on my
just
side.
Taylor.
Just Taylor, yeah, try to straighten out his curls or something. Get a little straight. We'll get a straightener in the off season. So, Taylor, I was going to say this, but this is one of my favorite things ever. We talk about all the goofy things we do before I get into my stuff. This is by far probably every time I watch it, it makes me laugh, and I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Mosh fans, what are you guys doing? Come hang out with us on the broadcast.
It's Coke Night. 705 here in the Snake Pit. If you ain't here, where you are at?
It's just the impromptu stupidity that's broadcasting. I saw that with the Detroit Red Wings broadcast crew just before the season was over on our end. That one of their key takeaways was entertainment and educate. And I had said that even before I knew what I was doing, and that's probably because coming from a big market, that's what I learned as watching our broadcasters from the Chicago Blackhawks and the Chicago Wolves. I grew up with Dale Talon and Pat Foley, two of the best to ever do it. Dale goes on to be the GM of the Florida Panthers, and then the Blackhawks get all kinds of people. Eddie Olczyk and Oaklawn. I'm from Oaklawn, Illinois, so Oaklawn native too. Eddie Olczyk still probably has most of the high school records from Brother Rice High School. Just an absolute phenom of a player and just a phenomenal broadcaster as well. And Darren Pang, and to watch these guys and to take a little bit of everybody, you can't, as you're learning, and I look at myself still as kind of an apprentice per se, because you're going to take what everybody shows you and goes with it. You're going to pick and choose. If there's something you want to use, great. If there's not, you just put it in the back of your brain, because maybe someday you'll do it. You'll use it at some other point. But, I think I've come a long way this year from last year, just as a whole. I used to step over Joseph a lot and run over him, and now we understand each other's cadence. And I don't think Devin and I did it so much, but it's when you're actually there with each other and you can kind of feed off of each other, it's easier. We do a lot of games remotely, so sometimes it's not as easy. It's very challenging, but it still gets it. It still works. We talked about when we're literally game one. We're like, well, we're going to blink, and how fast are we going to be through the season? And we're going to be at game 56 or whatever it is we play. And sure as hell, if it wasn't, we blinked an eye and it was over. And we had a little extra. We had a little bonus hockey, but a lot of things along the way throughout the season from day one on through. Like you said, the Ruguru, and it was a lot of fun too. Doing another league with the NA3HL. Really fun franchise, good ownership there too. A lot of fun. Just good people to be around. The Billet families, and I always say if somebody just threw a GoPro on you and I when we were there, and Devin got to experience some of that stuff too when he was up, and we all went to breakfast, and then we took him to Tim's, and we took him over to see Mark, and it was just it's the things I think we do off the ice. It's not so much, and I say off the ice, I mean, away from the team, that builds the things. It's we always joke about me being your dad, which is funny because a lot of people still maybe don't know how that came to be.
Some people still call me Pete, believe it or not. So
Little Pete and Big Pete, Little Pete. Yeah, that's always funny. But yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for the drunken Marine, we would have never had the that's my dad. At Dave and Buster's in just outside of Detroit, Michigan last year for Motor City, and telling the guy I was his dad, and I completely said no, I wasn't. But all in all, 71 points last year, 119 this year, a big turnaround. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. Worked with a lot of good people, a lot of good broadcasters, and it was good to help them guys too, and they needed our hand. Liam and Devin and Brian and even
Go
the team.
Time.
Go Time Godimer, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's been fun. It's been a good. it was a good season for us, But want to get in real quick. Another one of our new league sponsors came through, Top Cheese. If you haven't learned what Top Cheese is, I'll brief you real quick. Top Cheese, unleash your swagger. So. They're grassroots hockey. There were grassroots hockey, community culture, and bold expressions all collide. So Top Cheese isn't just a brand, it's a movement. They're a nonprofit initiative. It's a pro tour, a lifestyle. They're looking to redefine what hockey really looks like and who it's for. It's from sneakers on the blacktop to full-on ball hockey showdowns. They're there to create new pipelines for the sport. One that starts in parks, ends in the pavements, the stage, without the gatekeeping, high costs, or the high school and old school politics. It's hockey without boundaries. Non-for-profit youth divisions focused on access and impact. And if a kid's got shoes and got a stick, they've got the stage. So, yeah, it's a great organization. They're somebody to definitely check out. They're also linked up with Biscuit Balm, and I will get to them a little later as well. But if you want more information on Top Cheese, it's Top Cheese, CHEEZ, swag.com, and they will definitely enlighten you of what they've got here. So we'll see what they have in the future. But yeah, really good organization. Glad we can talk about them, get them on board, and implement them into our broadcast too. That one keeps popping in and out, which is kind of fun. But
he just doesn't want to talk to us today, Pete.
I understand. That's what happened with Brian. Brian's like he just abandoned ship, like he hit the Titanic or something. He's like, we're not doing this. We're out. So something else too. Now we got a new footprint of the league. We've got teams moving in, teams moving out. What do we got? Who wants to take this one?
Well, I can go run down the street and go get you guys the scoop real quick if you need me to do that.
Wow. Yeah, you really could. But it all started right with the Rock Lobsters going to the SPHL.
I mean, yeah, they moved up. I mean, there was that talk though they were going to end up moving somewhere. We just didn't know what league they were going to go to, and then they moved to the SPHL. So I'm not really surprised there at that move. But look at their, look at their arena, their organization, everything, right, and what they've been doing and building for a long time. I mean, they'll be a good team in the SPHL.
Well, they're built for that. I mean, the team's built for it. The arena, the community, it's really placed in a great spot right on the campus of Gerdergs, University of Georgia. So yeah, they knew what they were doing when they put it there. Plus, you got the talk with the NHL going to Atlanta.
You got $151 million stadium.
Yeah, I mean, that whole region right now is so hot. Even with roller hockey, over Snellville, Georgia. There are two other locations too. So I mean, there's so much going on in the state of Georgia right now with hockey. It's that's probably one of the hot spots in the country. Dev, another interesting one. We get the Minnesotans come in and the Northern Lights, which we thought was a little outside the footprint until we heard news yesterday of certain things.
Yeah, I'm definitely very surprised that they are going to attempt and carry out operations. I just think that as someone who's been in two organizations who have, well, one and a half as of now, but that have ultimately, had one and dones, like it's, you need to be very prepared going into the year, and there's a lot that needs to be taken care of ahead of time. And correct me if I'm wrong, but they're neutral site games. Like there was maybe 1,000 people there, 1,500. Like, is that going to be sustainable for every regular season game? For the entire season. So I'll be curious to see what happens. I'm definitely rooting for them. It would be awesome to have a team in the state of hockey, but I think that the optics for me right now, just kind of seeing them drag along, it's a little alarming, but you never know. I'm rooting for the best for them.
Yeah, and also you got the look of Indiana coming back, and you have sounds like Motor City's coming back in some capacity. They might not be Motor City anything. They might be just another team from Michigan. 3 teams now brought in to California. That's an interesting thing. You don't have any neutral site games out there were played. You just surprise. San Diego, Stockton, and Fresno. Here they popped in, and we're like, well, that's kind of interesting. And then Biloxi, the news is, we don't officially, I guess, know that Biloxi's out, but it sounds like it's pretty close. And we also, the official word, it's all on the news down here in Louisiana about Baton Rouge leaving too. So, but something might be brewing there as well. Is the internet and the interwebs all talk about as well. So. A lot of movement, and then you got the Mid-South team up there in South Haven, right stone's throw from Memphis, Tennessee. Going to be some interesting things. There's going to have to be a lot of realignment. There's going to be a lot of travel, and there's with the rising gas prices of diesel, and some of these teams are going to have to fly. There's no choice. So they're going to have to get some kind of deals with airlines, and just the logistics are very strange. So
I could see it being more like a pod system, though, for that, no?
Oh, it's going to have to be.
If you have 3 in California, it doesn't make sense to go to have them go play team, unless maybe for like 1 or 2 games in a week, one time during the season. But to have teams constantly coming back, that's a stretch.
Well, and essentially, I think that's what they wanted to do last year. If you would have had the other Michigan team, then you would have had 2 teams, Port Huron, Motor City. Man, ideally, it would have been having Danville would have been a great pod in that pocket, and then you would have had Indianapolis or Indiana, not in Indianapolis, but the Sentinels. You'd have had that cluster, and then Topeka is so kind of pushed out, And there's talk of a team in Chicago eventually, western suburb, Bensenville, Illinois, where the who's playing there? The Chicago Steel is getting a new building. They're going to be playing one of the Blackhawks practice facilities, but it's a 3,200 seat facility, and they're going to be looking for a tenant, and it wouldn't be a bad idea because now you've got some relatively closer travel too. But from your look, Taylor, what are you seeing? You're kind of on the journalist role, and what are your thoughts?
Well, this is only my second year in the FPHL or involved with the FPHL team. I might be better suited for you or Joseph or Devin for that part. So my thoughts on it, what are the goals of the league? I know they want to expand. I know there was a rumor going around they want to expand into, 30 states or as many states as possible. Be very interesting to see. It's a growing league. I do know that here in Monroe, it's been fantastic. But, that could be due to the fact that, the Moccasins was a team that was here back in the 90s, late 90s and early 2000s. And I will say that recipe has been proven to be successful, almost similar to like in PD. That's sort of that flow to where what you can do is if you do open up or create a team or establish a team to where there was a former hockey team, you can have a lot of success, you know. And I think that's because when you look at Monroe, just for example, one thing that I have discovered in the past 2 years is that a lot of the kids, they were kids back when the Moccasins were originally here. Those kids participated in the youth camps, youth leagues, were big fans. And so I think that really contributes to the success that Monroe has had the past 2 years, is that now those kids are adults now. And so they're in their 30s, early 40s. And so, you know, having the Moccasins return, now they're being able to experience that with their kids. And that's one thing that I've picked up a lot, especially when I was doing fan interviews last year, really just talking with the fan base. And, you know, I know that's sort of a similar situation with PD. I believe they had a team there in the past. And so kind of finding old grounds and building upon that. So sometimes it can be successful, but, you know, sort of what Devin was saying, you know, it really just depends on the area.
Yeah, and the whole thing in Monroe is it really grew itself organically, and that was something I noticed when I first got there. The first game, I just watched everybody come in and the excitement and the anticipation they had. Small community, not a whole lot going on up there. You know, now they got some arena football coming in this summer, so there's another new activity. But I mean, they really, the city does really need a full year-round municipal complex to where these kids can skate, they can learn. I mean, you can do a lot, and you can hone your skills off the ice with floor hockey. And I believe Carlos Fornera is maybe doing that. Maybe this offseason too. We heard, I know he's going to be playing with Team USA overseas, which good luck to him. And I want to have him on later on in another podcast at some point. But you know, it grew organically, and you see the looks on the faces and just how it's going now. And it's gone full circle. And those are those places, you know, I think maybe they want to hit those targets that leagues were in before, and maybe start it up again, see where the all the interest is, and if it wants to return itself. So, but yeah, I mean, the league's growing. League's growing. You know, just for a second, it looked like we were shrinking, and all of a sudden we blinked. 2 days later, it just exploded, and it was like, whoa, what's going on here? But you know, it's May, and right now the playoffs are still going on, and we'll jump.
I tell you what, though, Pete, I did not have California expanding on my bingo card just yet.
No, I'm gonna agree with you on that one. That was definitely not on the bingo card at all. It's just outside the footprint by a landslide, right? It just doesn't. Yeah. It's like a league of its own. You know, I mean, and California's huge for hockey. I mean, we know that.
Yeah, no. I just like in such a big market of San Diego, though. That's what I'm just like, wow, because you have the goals there already, right? And then not too far, you have the Ontario Rangers there, the Ducks, the Kings, and you know we can keep going, right? A couple hockey teams in the NHL down there, and obviously, you know, you have other amateur hockey down there as well. So I'm just wondering to see how that's going to go, and that's going to be exciting, right? It's always great to see, you know, more teams added, right, to the league, and it's always good and seeing the game continue to grow. But, you know, that, and I'm wondering how Fresno and Stockton are going to do, right? The Stockton, though, had a AHL team, the Stockton Heat, for the longest time, and they were one of the best teams in the AHL for the longest time. I mean, going down there and, you know, going to a couple games and whatnot. Now, Fresno, they have the Junior Monsters down there, and I believe it's the NA3HL. Is that the league they're in, or some junior league or something? USPHL. Yeah, it's
Jacob Gagnon.
One of those junior leagues. Yeah. Then they have Gagnon, obviously
all-time defenseman, leading scorer for the Fresno Monsters USPHL Premier Team.
Yep, played against them a couple times in my day in the amateur NorCal. That was not juniors though, different league. But yeah, I just Stockton, Fresno, and now San Diego. I don't know. I wasn't expecting those teams to come to California. I mean, yeah, that was, you know, I know the league wants to expand and move across towards the west. I just didn't expect it to be this fast, this early. But hey, you know what? I mean, they're going to keep dropping teams.
Expansion.
Yeah.
They're going to need some more players too, right? I mean, it's going to be an interesting season next year for whoever goes wherever. We don't know about anything at this point. Like I said, we're still we're about to get into about to touch base on the Commissioner Cup Finals. Don't think we need to touch base on the playoffs. The playoff portion is over. The Cup's finals are going on now. However, quickly though, so Biscuit Balm, another one of near and dear to my heart. I swear by this stuff, and I can't explain to you how this stuff changed my life with what it does. But Biscuit Balm is the athlete's choice for post-game pain relief and everyday recovery. This all-natural rubbing balm is made with clean ingredients designed to help fight inflammation and soothe sore muscles after practices, games, workouts, and long days on your feet. Smooth, effective, and easy to apply, Biscuit Balm belongs in every hockey bag, gym bag, and medicine cabinet. All-natural rubbing balm helps fight inflammation and built for recovery after the grind. And that being said, I do have a code on there. I am a rep for Biscuit Balm. I'll selfishly claim that. So promo code BBPete. I do have a QR code. I'll put that back up there later. I'll keep it. I'll put it up on Hockey Time Down South, Pete Furcano Media, and stuff like that too. So people want to take a look at that. But I do use this stuff, and my green screen's doing some crazy stuff with this thing. I tell you what, but it's amazing. I thought I had a torn rotator cuff real quick, and I heard it playing in Dallas in a tournament, and I did not know what happened till about a month or two later, and it really hurt. I couldn't put my arm behind my back, and this stuff I put on the 500 milligrams, and I can do all kinds of things within 2 minutes. I've used Tiger Balm and Bengay and Flexall 450. That stuff's garbage. I would never use anything other than this again. It works so quick and for quite some time. I mean, it's got some staying power. But man, this stuff's legit. If you've got muscle joint pains, aches, whatever, man, this is it. This is the end all be all. It's I swear by it. That's the only thing I'll use. But Biscuit Balm, it is the athlete's choice. It's my choice, and that's all I got to say about that. We'll put some more of that somewhere else. That being said, let's go to the Commissioner Cup Finals. Binghamton and the PD Ice Cats. PD Ice Cats were not on my bingo card. I think I might have had us on there. Was very shocked to see the Rock Lobsters get bounced in round number one. That was watching that night after night was like, wow, what the hell's going on over there? And they got walked. Yeah, here we are, knotted up at 1. So we got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday and Saturday. Maybe 3 games this weekend. So best of 5. Here we go. What are you guys thinking, Devin? What you got?
I'm rooting for the Ice Cats, but I mean, I just can't see them getting by Binghamton 2 out of 3 times in their building. It's already a sellout game 3. If PD beats Binghamton twice in their building, I mean, hats to them. I know Rutherford had a shutout up there, if I'm not mistaken. So you never know. They could do it. He's not playing net right now, but Brendan Colgan's been exceptional. Hats off to him. He's been tremendous for the Ice Cats, especially dueling with Temej, or however you say his last name. Never played Binghamton, so I never had to learn it. But yeah, that would be pretty cool to see PD do it, but I think Binghamton in their own building with the fans behind them with a chance to become a dynasty, it just seems a little too sweet. But I'm pulling for Rutherford and my buddy Nick Gullo too. That would be pretty cool for them.
Yeah. Taylor, what you got? What you thinking, bud?
I would say one thing that's pretty cool about the FPHL is it's a smaller league, so a lot of these players come and go. It's been really fun watching PD this postseason, especially former Moccasins players that are actually on PD, like Houston Wilson. He was a favorite of mine last year, and he came over to the Moccasins later in the year, and so he's had some big goals this postseason. And it's just really cool, kind of really cool to see some of the former Monroe players really, shining in the playoffs and just, succeeding. And like I said, it's kind of a tight league, and you can't help but kind of root for some players.
Yeah, even Jake Cox is over there now too, so it's kind of fun to see him go from the low, kind of the basement to really getting a taste of some good, meaningful hockey.
Isn't
Joseph.
Noah Robinson on that team too as well?
Yes, Noah is. Though, I don't know. And Kevin Kupia actually might be watching today, and if he is, please chime in and let me know because I don't know if I saw him on the roster or not. I don't know. I would think yes. I would clearly think yes.
Answering your question though, and kind of piggybacking off Devin, I mean, going to be hard to beat Binghamton in their building twice, right? But also, Petey, they've been such a pesky team. They don't go away. They play you really, really tough, and they've been playing them really tough too, especially Bingo here so far throughout throughout the playoffs, and also Binghamton here in the finals. But man, it's been a good series though. I would say two teams that I not expect to be going up against each other, and PD coming in their inaugural season, what a season they had to get to the playoffs, right? Because they were fighting for a playoff spot. And what was that last week or two with Twin City, and then they creep into the postseason, and then they go out, they knock Athens out in the first round, and they continue to move on through, right? They beat Columbus in that third game, and they battled back, weren't they down, and they tied the game late, went on to win in overtime, and I think they had a few late goals in that series, I'm not mistaken. And here they are playing Binghamton. They win that first game, lost the last one, so we're going to see what happens. I mean, anyone can win on any given day, right? But they don't go away. They just keep going at you. Very pesky team, and like you guys said, some former Moccasin players on their team. So it's I'm in to see some good hockey here. So I think it's going to be really, really good throughout these next couple games, and room for Pete though. Hopefully they can do it.
Yeah, my knee-jerk reaction was this. I'm like, well, whoever just punched their ticket to get swept by Binghamton. Just because I was resting on Binghamton's laurels and what they've done in the past. I mean, I think they've earned that right and the respect. However, the more I've analyzed it, I looked at it this way. We've talked about it a lot. The Empire's, I believe, is a weaker division. It really is. They don't have all the competition. I think that's in the Continental. I think there's just stronger teams over here, and I think they finally kind of like, whoa, we met a team that can play, and these guys can skate. They're fast. They play well together. They got good goaltending now. There's a lot going on. So it's I think PD I think they could squeak it out. I really do. I don't see why they can't. I mean, now Binghamton's got some home ice. They're in their own barn. I'm sure their fans are going to get loud, and they're looking for the three-peat now. So, hey, it's anybody's guess, but it's going to be a great series nonetheless. Just it's not over yet. Best of five. I think they're going to go five. I think it's a good chance. I think that's what we're going to see.
Yeah, no, like I said, I think it's going to be really, really good 3 games here of hockey, and I do think it's going to go 5. Yeah,
I think so too. I think so.
I'm going Binghamton in 4, unfortunately. I think it's going to be rocking Game 3, and I don't know. I'm a huge Brant Sherwood fan. He just won Coach of the Year. He's legit. I think that he deserves a lot of praise. I don't know. I think PD, the Cinderella, might be doing her last dance, or might have done it in Game 1. I'd be stunned, but I hope it goes 5. I hope PD can win, but realistically, if you're asking me, my prediction, I think Binghamton in 4.
And it's possible too. I mean, it's going to be anybody's guess at this point. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting on the rest of the way out. That's for sure. Hey Joe, you want to take the next sponsor?
Oh, who's our next sponsor? I don't know. I don't have the ad read here for that. I'm gonna have to throw it right back on you.
I can hold on. I can give you a real good cue here, bud. Let me. I've been slacking with my own media stuff down here. I don't even know where I put it. I'm like, man, I'm just like, I'm bumping around. Where did it go? I lost it. Let's go with that one.
Oh, Marty and Mark's Jewelry and Watch Repair. Okay, all right. I had no idea they were going to be our next sponsor, but they are some of our good friends over helping us with our broadcast the last 2 seasons. They have been fantastic. So if you ever need any watch or jewelry repair, that is the place to go in Monroe.
Yeah, absolutely. Located on an Antique Alley in West Monroe. Marty Marks' family-owned and operated establishment specializing in watch and jewelry repair. They place a premium on, and this is no joke, a premium on client satisfaction by guaranteeing all repairs are executed in-house, eliminating the need to send your valuable items anywhere else. Marty & Marks distinguishes itself throughout its dedication to individual service and meticulous craftsmanship. When you enter their establishment, you'll have direct access to the skilled artisans overseeing your repairs. They've got a hands-on approach to everything they do there. They do it flawlessly. They're the place to go. They're some of our favorites, along with Fiesta on 18th, some of our favorite places to go to while we're in Monroe. And Marty & Marks, if you're in the Monroe area or even outside the Monroe area, get your jewelry there and your Rolex. They got some Rolex for everybody. Makes me want to buy a Rolex sometimes. Oh my gosh, Devin fell off the chair.
That's exactly where you can go. That's exactly. Devin said he'd be right back.
Oh,
But
he did.
We're always hanging out at some of our sponsor stores, and Mark is one of them. Also, we talk about Tim Hitt as well. So, and every occasionally, once in a blue moon, we go and bug Kevin Kupia too.
Yeah, we like to bug everybody. But with him being gone, we'll take a real quick second to watch a real quick clip of probably one of our favorite things in the last 2 years that's happened when we were actually with Devin down there in Danville, invading his territory. So we'll go ahead and throw this on.
And we're having fun up here in the broadcast booth. Pete Fricano, Joseph Furtado.
Joe, happy birthday!
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, man.
Everyone's having fun. We're going to have Sean Kuhn come up.
I'm gonna try that again. For some reason, I wanted to go on the cell phone portion of the show, but not the other one.
We're having fun up here in the broadcast booth. Pete Fricano, Joseph Furtado.
Joe, happy
Party
birthday!
that you got on, Pete. How about that?
Everyone's
Is
having
that
fun. We're
neon?
going to have Sean Kuhn come up here in just a little bit here at the end, so stay with us after this game. But it has been a fun one. This was your idea, by the way.
I come up with the best ones.
You do come up with the best. This is the funny one, okay?
Well, yeah, I'm the funny. You're like the good cop, bad cop over here.
You got...
Who the hell cut that? That's quite the Texas Chainsaw Massacre going on
That's
there.
Lisa right here.
Oh,
She
beautiful job, Lisa.
Great cutting job.
Excellent cutting job.
It was tough. You got my age on there. We don't. And luckily, it's not Pete's birthday. We
Oh
can't.
my gosh, we
Here, you
lit
want
the
me to
whole
take the
building
2
on
off? You
fire
want it to
with
just be
that
7?
Like Edward Scissorhands got a hold of that thing.
Oh, we're having some fun here in
Wow.
Danville. 1:42 left to go. Separating the moccasins from 3 points.
Edward Scissorhands. That was.
Great job, Lisa. On the cake.
She's cut a couple cakes.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful.
Probably shouldn't cut anymore, but
Hey,
Yeah, we'll have to call Cake Police. Yeah, Cake Police will be out there for cutting a cake. It's going to be brutal.
look at that swag Joseph had. He was going full Miami Vice there with just a T-shirt and a blazer. Man, that dude.
I think he's only done it twice where he's like, you know what? I'm just going to wear a shirt.
I pulled that off in Biloxi, actually. I actually, believe it or not, that game I was going to wear my red suit. Yeah, when I was sick, that is right. I was sick that game. But I was going to wear my red suit, and I had a black shirt. And then Pete made fun of me for being Italian. He said, oh, like the Italian mafia or something like that. And I said, all right, we're not doing this. We're taking that off, and we're moving on.
You look like a total mobster. Oh, gosh. God, brutal.
I am Italian, but not part of the mafia.
Real quick touch on some of the Fed League Flash Awards. Those came out last week, and those were fun. And the Moccasins did pretty well there. And Kevin Kupia even got himself an award. So, yeah, congratulations to all of us. We get Gary Ryan chose us as his broadcast team of the year, and he said some very, very nice things about us, and I really appreciated that. I thought it was really cool. And, he said you don't get an award for it, but it's just fun to be part of it and to be acknowledged for stuff. And all the broadcasters we've been with have really, nobody's really better than anybody else. We're all having fun doing what we love, calling hockey games. I mean, it's like being a kid at heart and just having fun with it, but to get some acknowledgement is pretty cool. I appreciate that. And Russ Perrant was his coach of the year pick. He actually had texted me too to tell me some of these things Gary Ryan did, and said, the first one he said was Carlos Farneras is his two-way player. And what a great pick that was as well. So, and Kevin Kupia, of course, executive of the year. So, yeah, really cool. Sorry, I don't remember any of the other awards that were listed, but I remember what ours were. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, and we appreciate Gary too for all the work he does covering the FPHL in depth as much as he does it. He's almost like a broadcaster, I swear, for all the things, all his notes that he does and how heavy he follows some of these teams and how he catches up and keeps up with everybody. But yeah, we appreciate Gary and all the things he's done and for the kind words he said to us, and we appreciate for him picking you, me, Pete, for that award. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, and it takes a village. It's not just us two. I mean, Taylor was in there as well. One of the fun things, Taylor, when Taylor and I started doing the post-game stuff, and I pretty much just show up with the address, and Taylor's like, what do you want to talk about? Same thing with you. Pregame. What do you want to talk about? Just talk.
That's about right.
Just talk.
See, Brian was going to win it, but he didn't show up tonight, so he didn't win it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean.
Shame on you, Brian.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah, that's happens. But we're gonna scold him for that one. But we'll have to have him on another one. We have the multi-broadcasters on. Yeah, we'll have the multi-broadcasters on. It'll be fun. Yeah, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna make sure that happens. But yeah, we got through that one, and then so that was, we were kind of waiting to see what was going to go on. And the actual winner this year was Will Wiggleman, which we did reach out to Will and congratulate him because he does a great job up there in Port Huron as well. But I mean, anybody could have won it this year. It's just but he did an exceptional job up there too. And Port Huron's kind of a smaller market too, and you look at Michigan as another big hockey state, right? So. Yeah, that's good things, but it's good. It's good for all of us. It's good for everybody. It's good recognition too, because that springboards some of these guys up into the next level. So it's pretty cool. As we all look like bobblehead dolls here later in the evening. So let's see. What do I want to throw
at real quick? It's late for you guys, not late for me.
Yeah, it's late. No, it's 8:16 for me, 9:16 for Dev. Yeah, it's like 3 in the afternoon for Joe.
Feels like it for how sunny it is outside.
Story time. We got any little stories we want to tell, Devin? I'm gonna let you go first there because you like to tell stories too.
Put me on the spot here. Let's see. Stories from this season. Oh man, skip me for now. I'll marinate it and try and come up with something here.
All right, Taylor, you go first.
All right, it's not a real long story, but it's something sort of like a little gold nugget. One of the privileges that I've had the past 2 years is I get to meet a lot of great people, a lot of great players, and some of them, you just can't help but really like. And this was, I would say, early on in the season. So it was after a game, and it was a rainy night, and it just started storming. I mean, it was so bad. Where we have to park at the Civic Center, on the back and the dirt and stuff like that. And so it was really coming down. It was storming. And that night we had gotten a couple of new players. And it was just funny because after the game, me and Julia were like, okay, we're gonna head out. I always drive her. I like a gentleman. I always drive her to her car. Walk her to my car, open the door for her, and everything like that. And so we walk out. We walk.
This is a Taylor Costa story.
Well, we walk.
Yeah,
outside.
this is.
Yeah, it's right there, Taylor Costa. All right, so we walk out, and in the back to where it's just, it's pouring down. Y'all know what it's like out there. And we run into a player, and he's a tall guy, kind of blondish, dirty blonde hair. And I kind of looked at him, and I was like, "Are you new?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Hey, I'm Taylor. I'm the sideline reporter." He goes, "Okay, I'm Casey Gerstein," and that was his first night there. And I was like, "Oh." And I was looking at him, and he had a kind of a Miami Vice thing going on, light blue, very nice light blue suit. And he was just kind of standing there under the cover looking out in that rain, and I could tell the man did not want to go out there. And I'm like, "You're parked out in the rain, aren't you?" He was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, I'm about to go get my car right now. I'm going to go get it and pull in to pick her up like a gentleman." And I was like, "If you like, I can pick you up and take you to your car." And I think that was his first game. He had just got to Monroe, and he was a little hesitant at first. He was like, "Yeah, I think I'll do that." I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." So like a gentleman, I'll walk out in the rain, get covered and all that, So I get in my car, and then I pull in. He's still a little hesitant, but he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna do it." So he gets in, and I drive him to his car, and he got out, got to his car and everything. And me and Julia were like, "Well, he's a real nice guy." I was like, "Yeah." I wonder if that was strange or odd for him, And then come to find out, dude had a heck of a season this year. Great player, really great guy. And I don't know, like I said, it was just sort of a funny story. You don't always help people out. You never know who they are, never know who they will be, And so I just thought that was kind of a funny little story.
Thought you were going to see you threw your jacket down and let him walk across it going to his
Oh,
car.
no. I didn't know him like that just yet. But, yeah, that was but yeah, I thought that was, like I said, just a little funny run in. You run into these players, you meet a lot of great people. And it was his first game, so I really didn't know who he was. But, offered it. It turns out to be Casey Gerstein. Really cool guy.
Nah. Joseph?
Oof, I don't know. I got to start thinking. You might have to defer to Devin on this one. Unless Pete, you got
just
one.
deferred.
I'd speak less specifically and more generally. Like, there was a lot of good times throughout the season. When we got our first win against Topeka early on in the year, that was cool. Just celebrating that with everybody and the ride home. Just the first win in franchise history. It was cool. Had a couple beers on the bus, and yeah, that was a really cool memory. A lot of golf. Played a lot of golf, especially towards the end. Not really during the season, but more so like the last month. I went out with Trey Fisher probably a dozen times and played. We played in 5-some, 6-some, just going out with the guys and being able to just do something away from the rink with them was a pretty cool opportunity. There was a lot of those things. Paintballing with the fans was a lot of fun. Some of the best laughs I've had all year came from the 2 times we went paintballing with the fans over in Paintball Republic, which unfortunately closed down. Feel really bad for them. They were a sponsor of ours as well, and they just shut down after 5 years. So wish them the best, but they were great supporters of the team, season ticket holders, and they did a lot to accommodate for us when we were there. So there was a lot of, I don't have like one specific story that I feel is good or appropriate to share, but I think there was just a lot of good moments both on and off the ice this year that made it all worth it.
This isn't an appropriate podcast, but Dev, can you tell me about the bus fire? Can you tell me about when the bus caught on fire?
Yeah,
I want to hear my next story.
That's a Pete for Connor.
I'm also going to picture you sleeping on a pillow that you took of yourself sleeping. I don't know how you took a picture of yourself sleeping. I think it's amazing. What's that?
I think I was sleeping on a pillow on the side, and all of a sudden we just pulled over. I might have had my headphones on, and I remember being like, okay, like what's going on? Like, and then they went out and did some surveying, and they're like, yeah, we are not going to be able to go to Monroe. So we found a way. I think that was like December, like middle of December, maybe even New Year's Eve, honestly.
I was still there for that one. It was just before Christmas, I think, because you guys all got minivans or something, didn't you? Y'all showed up in some vans.
Yeah, and we made it to the game, so that was a cool experience. We came in on 2 wheels. I think they pushed puck drop a little bit, but we played, and I think it was a competitive game. That might have been like 6-4, if I'm not mistaken. That might have been a decent showing from us.
Yeah, it was a close one. It was a close one. Yeah, we've had a lot of good times, and going to Biloxi. Joe and I went to Biloxi a couple times. Got another good picture in Biloxi, and then we even had yeah, thank you. And we even had there was a time where
Rosie O'Donnell
where there was a time where Miss Mississippi was able to autograph a photo for you, and
Rosie O'Donnell.
Doesn't matter. You got an autographed photo of Miss Mississippi. So what had happened here was,
oh man,
I do kind of get Rosie O'Donnell for a second, but what we got there is Miss Mississippi was actually there that night. I think she might have even sang the national anthem, and Joseph and I were walking across the concourse. Did she? Okay, well. She also signed a paper for you. So then we're walking around the concourse, and because we just always look for stupid things to do. And he's like, "Hey,
sign it. Isn't it you two?
Nope,
you guys
we signed it.
It looks like Pete Fricano and
no, that's Miss Mississippi who signed it.
If
she
you
signed
zoom
it too.
in here, it says all my love from both of you. So thank you.
And that's exactly right. But nonetheless, it's still Miss Mississippi. She had a stack of them there, and Joe's like, well, "Hey, why don't you? It'd be hilarious if you signed one."
Yeah, throw me under the bus.
I yanked the Sharpie out so fast. Actually, I think they pulled the Sharpie out before you even asked me. I walked over there.
have
And
one in your pocket wherever you go.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll even elaborate on that too. So we signed it, and then we get back during intermission, and we didn't say anything at all. We just dropped it in front of you and kept walking over to our spot, and you just started dying. And this is right before puck drop. Like,
let me
and that
pause
was
Devin
that
on-
was
on
that
this
was
and
why
what-
I was laughing. I was like, "There's 5 minutes to puck drop." I was like, "I know what I'm doing. Like, I'm getting in the zone," and these two to my left are signing Miss Mississippi photos and dropping them for me. I was like,
yeah,
it's amazing
you
how
started
everybody
the
has their own
broadcast
routines.
of the
Or, like,
third
you guys
period,
like to
and
get
you gave
loose.
us a
It was-
shout out for it.
Yeah, it was like,
But Devin, you don't understand. We're walking the concourse. We just got finished talking to Curtis Hanson and a couple of the players who weren't playing that night, and we're making the corner. And I tell Pete that, and I start walking, and I turn around, and this guy's autographing it. He already had the pen out and everything. Like I said, sign, and I just got to, you should sign, and he was like, where do I sign? Didn't have to finish the sentence. He had a Sharpie out. He had a pack of Sharpies in his back pocket. He had everything in case the one Sharpie didn't work. He was ready to sign that photo, and
Pete
sure
loves
enough,
autos. Everybody's
he
got to
does.
get
Oh.
Pete's autograph.
100%.
Well, and then that goes back to after one of the Rougarou games, they had a whole bunch of items on their table downstairs, and I think we were going to do a mini sticks thing, and there was an Italian salad dressing bottle there, so I just decided to autograph it, and I was actually trying to give it to any of the players from the Thunderbirds that would accept it, and nobody was taking it. They're like, "What the hell am I going to do with this?" I'm like, "Put it on your salad." I don't know. I put it. Yeah, what are you going to do? So one of the last games of the year. Yeah, it was probably last series, I think. I don't think it was even the last playoff series. We just have a random stack of paper plates up in the booth. I have no idea why, because nobody's eating up there. So we got our bags of blow pops to go downstairs, and I just looked over. I'm like, well, I grabbed a handful and I threw them in the bag because we always run out of blow pops. So we get downstairs, and the adults are always wanting the blow pops, not the kids so much. It's the adults. So I'm like, one of the adults is like, can I have a blow pop? And I said, nope, you can have a plate. And I autographed the plate and I winged it and I caught it. Well, by the time I got back upstairs, Troy's like, bro, did you autograph a plate? I said, what? He goes, yeah, it's already on Facebook. I'm like, well, if it hits eBay, I'm going to be really worried. So somebody else they're like, I got an autographed paper plate for Pete Fricano. And somebody else chimes in, I got one too. I threw out like 10 of them. But it was one of those funny things that it's spur of the moment. It's goofy. Fans are going to remember those things, and so do we, because it's just so completely out of the box. And I think that ties into, besides the fun we always have, Taylor and Joseph, we go out to eat afterwards. We went out. Devin had breakfast with us. We went to church with Devin. We took Devin we didn't take Brian to church this year. We took Devin to church. That was cool.
Joe. There's a story. Joe shows up 20 minutes late and then asks to leave after communion. And
yeah, I looked
so he was
and
there
I just
for
looked at him.
a cumulative 10 minutes.
To be fair, my girlfriend had just graduated from ULM, okay, and I was,
that can
I
come
was
for
why
why
I
you're
showed up late.
but
All right, I was
leaving
meeting some of her
early is
family. I showed up late, and you know what? Me and Pete go to church every single week before the game, and usually we always end up leaving after communion so we can get to the game and prep and stuff. So I was trying to get filled in on the plan,
Well, and we took
I
Devin
asked
to
Pete
the
today.
tailgate.
I just went to church today, and I left halfway through because it was a Spanish mass. And I was like, I did not know that it was Spanish. Never been to church on a Wednesday. And
you are of coloration,
well,
so you can. Lana said you're pretty much there.
Yeah, that is the people of Monroe. That is what they told me. They thought I was
Spanish young man.
And yep, that's okay though. We're Portuguese. We're close.
That's okay.
We're Spanish.
Yeah, that too.
Yep, we are Spanish, but it threw me off guard, but that's okay. It's that
Great
California tan. Yep.
Yeah, but it's those things. I think that makes it. I'm sure there's so much more goofy stuff that we've done or whatever this year, but. Yeah, but we Joe, did you figure yours out yet?
There's so many things that, I could go on about the season. Sleeping over at your house before we got to go to Biloxi for those games, and driving down there. That was a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know if I just have this single story, but just the camaraderie you build with all the interns and everyone, and how you start the season till the end of the season. I was doing so many things. Like I said, the mini hockey, the time you cut your arm on the box. When we were opening up those mini hockey sticks, that was pretty fun. You were trying to put together those hockey nets, and probably took us like 45 minutes to figure out how just to build one. I mean, and then there's a salad dressing. There's so many things that we talk about. Or when I'm sitting next to Kat, who's doing our graphics for the broadcast, and she's just dancing, as the game's singing, the songs are going on, and I'd like, you want to sing on the mic or something? We're playing tic-tac-toe while the game's going on, or something funny, right? You and me are doing that, right? Playing hangman, tic-tac-toe, whatever.
Hangman, yeah.
Yeah, so many things. Or I got Trent behind me while I'm calling the game, putting things in my pocket, whatever you can find, whether it's a bottle cap, screws, nails, any garbage. And then I go to put my hands in my suit jacket, and then I find a bunch of trash in my pockets, and then I got to throw away.
That wasn't me.
Yeah.
Is that what y'all do up top?
That's, yeah. There's so many just jokes and, things that we're doing. It's, yeah, we have a good time up there. Or, every time we go up after the games, we go out to eat, all of us, and hang out, and we usually sit there until about probably 12:30 at Tailgaters, or whatever time it closes. Or what's the other place we go to? I can't remember.
Tailgaters, Enoch's.
No, not Enoch's. I'm thinking the sporting
Cooter
place.
Bay.
There's the sporting place. I'm trying to think.
Walk-ons.
Walk-ons. There you go. Walk-ons. We go down there. But yeah, no, it's always a fun time, like I said, with all the guys and everyone hanging out, and all the interns making too much noise.
I had another one a second ago, and I completely lost it. It was actually really, really funny, and I'm like, oh, I can't remember what the hell it was now. But it'll come to me, and it had to do with Taylor, actually.
Taylor almost
He's
didn't hit
looking at me like, yeah. Well, no, that happened every game. I mean, let's see, hot mic'd. Let's see what else there was some other. You never know. I wish it came back to me, because it was actually really funny, and it went gone.
I'll tell you,
just gone.
There was one shocking moment. I think it was towards the end of the season. There's a couple of them. You just, when I do the pregame interviews on ice, sometimes, I don't know if fans know this or not, but sometimes those questions are kind of just ad lib at the moment, and I'll try to find a player and be like, hey, would you like to do an on ice interview before the game? And they're like, yes or no, whatever they prefer. And so I remember it was Rasmus Asp, and so it was towards the end of the season, and I asked him, I can't remember what series it was, but just one quick question, like, hey, what's the game plan tonight? And he went on, and he said a cuss word, guys. I think y'all remember that. I just remember being really shocked when he said it. And I was like, yep, all right, back to you, Joseph. And then at that moment, I could hear y'all kind of laughing, and just players like that getting ready for a game. Sometimes you just don't know what they're going to say, and a lot of good times.
Well, what he said was bullshit, actually, is what he said.
Did,
and,
yes. I wasn't
so
going to say
he said it there. And to make matters worse, he did it on the coaches show too, live on the radio, and we immediately went. So, well, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break here, and we're going to be right back at Joel's, and we're like, you can't say that. He's like, what do you mean you can't say that? I'm like, you can't say that. Well, shit is poop. I'm like, no, yes, it is. However, in the context, you can't say that, and he used the term for a female dog as well. So we can't say that either. He's like, it's a dog. I said, correct, but you can't say that either. It was great. It was like, whoa, dude. So we have some cultural changes. But, Taylor, now I remember what it was. I remember Joseph was out of town, and you and I were there, and we lost his feed completely in the third period. And it was the start of the third period, too. So it was so early on. And I'm like, I was like, Taylor, you're going to have to do play-by-play. And he's like, oh. I said, yeah, I got you. I'm right here. So he grabs the mic, and he grabbed the mic like he was uh-oh. Well, maybe scared there. The whole feed went out. He grabbed the mic, and he was just white-knuckled, and next thing I know, he's just said, we were playing Athens. He comes up the ice. I was like, all right, I got it from here, Taylor.
What?
and it was it. It was here he come. He's coming up the ice. I'm like, nope, I got it. I got it from here, buddy. And I finished it off. No, what happened to my camera, but
I didn't grow up playing hockey. Joseph has been fantastic the last 2 years. Especially coaching me up with the sideline reports and doing the sideline reporting. But that play-by-play for hockey, man, that's different. That's a different feel up there. And if I use everything that I have learned from Joseph for play-by-play is they can only circle that wagon so many times. You can only say that so many times. He's circling the wagon. This just wouldn't make sense. So sometimes you gotta wing it. He's coming up the ice, and then you took over, and I was able to breathe, and it felt good.
Circle
yeah,
the wagon.
and
Little John Forsland there, my friend.
the kitchen sink and all that.
But hey, now I'm learning something. I've been playing that NHL 24. It was free, and so I'm ready to tackle that ice biscuit now. You know what I'm saying? All right, well, don't all laugh at once right there. I appreciate the chuckle.
Pete's stream froze right now. He's out of this now. It seems just like Devin's power went out about 5 minutes before this started.
I hear you. I just have a white screen.
Yeah, you're frozen.
Yeah, my whole computer just froze. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Those are the hockey gods telling you to end the podcast.
Yeah, well, as soon as I get the white screen, I might start slowly wrapping this up.
Devin's not saying anything, but he's like,
yeah, I can't do anything right now. Wait, this is funny. It's like you can wait for it to become responsive, or you can exit the page. I'm like, I keep hitting the wait button.
see, there he goes. Now he's out. Now it's just down to us.
And he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. But, Devin, if you got my joke when he tried to set up one of the Hockey Time Down South podcast a while ago, one of our first ones, and you were like, the hockey guys just don't like Hockey Time Down South.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Absolutely, buddy.
I can't hear you guys. Oh.
We're still live, so. But, well, Taylor, since you're usually a newcomer on here, I guess you can close us out now because we don't know if Pete's going to be back.
How do you want me to do that?
Whatever you can come up with, my friend.
Okay. So here's a story.
I can't hear anything.
Devin can't hear anything. Well, it's on you, Taylor, and we're going to let people just sign off for Devin.
So, all right. Well, anything or team related or what?
Nope. Just close it out like close the broadcast out.
Okay. Well, first off, thank you for everyone who's listened and watched us. Us, the Moccasins, the Breakers, the Zydeco the last 2 years. It's been a lot of fun. Like we spoke about earlier, this hockey is a tight-knit group and a lot of loving people, a lot of very friendly people, just big group, big family. It's been a lot of fun, and I know a lot of us are looking forward to year 3 for the Moccasins. Really sad to hear the news about the Zydeco and, like mentioned, potentially the Breakers. But I know a lot of fans out there are looking forward to year 3 for the Moccasins, and there's a lot of roster turnover and team identity the past few years. Don't really know what to expect for year 3, but I know that a lot of us are excited for it, ready to see what can happen. And how am I doing so far, Joseph? Am I doing pretty good right now?
You're doing great right now, but here I guess we can do this. I don't know if Pete's coming back or what's going to be the deal with that. So I know it's about 8 o'clock, 8:30 you guys' time, so we can wrap this up. Oh, and just as we were wrapping it up, he comes on back, and Devin was out the door. He was ready. He was taking the headset off. He was like, "I'm out of here. It's 8:30. I gotta go to bed."
Devin's in his pajamas. Give me a second, Devin. I'll wrap this up. Hang on. Hold on. That being said, we got one more commercial to throw in there, and then and one more announcement, and then we can kick this off, and you can go to bed, put on your pajamas. But we've got this.
Word up, yeah. Big Pete's, check the flavor. Yo, Southside.
Again.
Word up, yeah. Big Pete's, check the flavor. Yo, Southside Chicago, where the story takes its root. Now we blessing Noella with that absolute truth. Taste of Chicago in the Big Easy, that's the word. The illest combo that you've ever heard. We serve authentic Chicago-style hot dogs, no fake ingredients. We breaking down the fog. The Vienna brand hot dog, a legacy we trust. On a Terreno poppy seed bun, turning taste buds to dust. It's a masterpiece of flavor from the south side of Chicago, yeah. Big Pete's, that's how the saga goes.
So the last one is sponsored by Big Pete's Chicago-style hot dogs, the only authentic Chicago-style hot dog in New Orleans. We are top 10. We've been told we were number 1, but hey, they're delicious, and I like them, and we sell them, and that's all I know. Find us on Instagram and Facebook. If you're in New Orleans, come get a dog. Taylor Costa just got popped back in, so let's throw him back on there. And one last announcement. So we are going to be, Joseph and I are going to be spearheading one more podcast, because why not, right? We're going to go with we lost Dev. The Minor Details, which will be coming out soon. I'm going to start lining up, and I actually do have a couple people right now that would like to come on as our first few guests, and we were going to try to cover the SPHL, ECHL, AHL, and the FPHL as well. It's going to be quite the task, but it's going to keep us busy and keep us occupied and give us some content for the summertime. But until I come up with a better logo, that's what we're going with. Joseph makes one heck of a cool-looking cartoon face.
Is that supposed to be you, Pete?
Man, I tell you what, I'm going to send you some of the other ones, and they are awful. Awful. My wife was like, why do they keep making you look old? I'm like, well, I guess because I'm old. I don't know. You know,
character look like a character off of the King of Queens.
Well, I'll tell you what. We do watch King of Queens every night. Devin's so in and out. He's ready. So
I couldn't hear you guys.
Pajamas on, like you said, he's done.
You good now? You're back.
Your hot dog video, but I can't hear you guys. It makes no sense.
Well.
Devin and I have been having those same issues, and somehow my audio is working right now. So
that's okay. Well, I mean, hey, you know what? It's been fun. It's been fun for last episode. Even though we did not have Mr. Brian Flores tonight, we did have the Taylor Costa to join us. His screen's blank right now. You know, it's like we had producer issues tonight. Even though I know we didn't, but things happen. And hey, you know, it's been fun. Dev, it's always a pleasure, buddy.
Always.
And Joseph, you know, it's definitely a pleasure. We've been through quite a few things. I'm sure our adventures and shenanigans are not quite over yet. Man, I'm Taylor in, Taylor out. Jeez, you guys in and out of the room.
Everyone in, everyone out.
I think Pete's blowing it.
Yeah, Pete's killing us.
I think when we lost Pete, it's when everything went downhill.
It all went to pot, eh? It all went drilled. So anyway, that's going to be all for this edition of Hockey Time Down South. We're going to have some other things coming up soon. However, that's all for this edition. Thank you all for watching and listening to YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We will be having it on Spotify shortly as well in the audio form. This has been a product of Pete Furcano Media. So for not so much Brian Flores, Devin Dobeck, Taylor Costa, Joseph Furtado, I'm Pete Furcano saying good night from the Big Easy.